You ready?
You got it.
Okay. 1, 2. See the rain and clear it up.
Yep.
3. Welcome back to another episode of Glasses and Grays with VJ. If you have been following me from day one or just recently joined the subscriber family, welcome back. For those that are new to my channel, I would like to say welcome. I'm glad that you decided to stop by. And as you can see, we're going to be talking about my zipline experience. So what we're going to be doing today is unpacking that experience. I had a lot of epiphanies, revelations, things about myself, things about life that I felt like sharing with you all. This is something that I just like to do. I like to give my insight and my perspective, hence my glasses and hence my gray, which is, y'all can't see it right now. But yeah, so shout out to my girl, TheSavvySpecialist, for my beautiful specs I'm wearing on today. She actually did a review on this brand of glasses on her channel. I will link the video in the description box below. For those that are new to my channel, this channel is basically going to include content revolving around a single black woman here in the South, in Arkansas. All things pertaining to lifestyle, relationships, finances, spirituality, religion, anything that I experience that I feel like I want to talk about, or any perspective or something I want to share. So that's Glasses and Grays with VJ, and I'm VJ, if you didn't catch that. The past 2 videos, I made mention of the fact that I actually ziplined, not once, but twice this past summer, and it was quite the experience, especially the first one. The first time I went with my cousin. The second time I went with a good friend of mine. My original plan was to zipline with my cousins when we took a trip to Vegas last year, and it ended up not happening. We ran out of time, and I was upset because that was the only thing that I really had planned on doing, had my heart set on doing, was ziplining through downtown Vegas. I just felt like that was a thing to do, and I didn't get a chance to do it. So it's something that I've been wanting to do. And I've also said I wanted to skydive, but I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore. I think ziplining was enough for me. But yeah, so whenever I do new experiences, especially in nature, I always get these epiphanies and revelations and things of that nature. And I don't know why. It's just how my mind works. So y'all get a chance to see that side of me today. We're going to unpack this stuff, okay? So yeah, so I can always come up with sermonettes and stuff like that. And maybe you can attribute it to me being churchy. Yes, I said churchy. I grew up in church. I've been in church all my life, so. But I think it's just, you know, a part of me being just creative and inspirational. So yeah, let's get into it. If you see me looking down a lot, it's because I have notes here and I don't want to forget the points that I said I wanted to make known through this video. So bear with me, y'all. I went ziplining at a place called Go 8, and it's in Memphis, Tennessee. Well, it's outside of Memphis, Tennessee. I forget the city at the time. I will link that information below. The experience was called the Treetop experience, and what it entailed was a total of 5 zip lines, and they had a series of treetop obstacle courses. So there were phases of that on top of having to do obstacle courses. So not only are you having to deal with zip lining and dealing with the heights in that regard, you're dealing with heights in the treetop. That was quite the experience. And I'll probably say that again before the end of this video. When we pulled up, I went with 2 of my cousins. The other one wasn't having it. She said, no, I'm gonna let y'all do it. I'll take pictures and take some footage, but I'm not doing it, which is all right. We driving up, and she was like, what's that thing going across the water? I was like, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't going across no water. We not doing that. I didn't see that on the website. That's what I thought. I really thought that. go and check in or whatever, because we had already bought our tickets online. Checked in, got our equipment, our harness or whatever. And lesson number 1 that I learned: do your research. Because I didn't know that it was going to entail all that we did. I didn't know we was going to be ziplining over water. Okay, I'm in the air and I'm going over water and I can't swim. Yeah, so your girl was scared. I was scared. Not scared, but scared. And when we got to the first zip line, my cousin Ricky, he was in front of me and he was like, we at the zip line. And I was like, okay, where it's going? And I think that's when I realized that we were actually zip lining over water. Because during the training, the little basic training they did for us, they didn't mention anything about it being over water. So yeah, I realized that we were about to zip line over water. I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to. So I wasn't crying for real, but I was terrified. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. And he's like, come on, we got it. You know, and there also was some young ladies there. They were there with their mom. And they were like cheering me on. You got this. So I took a deep breath. I took a few minutes to gather myself. And I thank God that they were patient and not pushing me or whatever. But yeah, I was scared. And I did it. Took a deep breath and went across. Yeah. So lesson 1, do your research. Even the Bible tells us to count up our costs before we start building anything. I think that was Luke 14 and 18, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so before you do anything, consider the cost. What is it going to cost me? Yeah. So the second lesson that I gathered from this experience was doing the basic training phase. So before you do anything, they got to make sure that you know how to work your harness. You want to make sure you know how to hook up to the zip line, how to hook up to the jump. I can't even think of the name of it, the technical name of it, but yeah, to make sure that you know how to navigate the course. They want to make sure you have the basics, right? And one of the things that stood out to me, and that took about, I think, a total of about 20 minutes or so to do that. So it took time or whatever. So they gave us our harnesses, and they should be suited and booted. Learn how to connect to everything. And one of the things that stood out to me was if we weren't zip lining or doing any other activity. So if you weren't doing those two things, you're supposed to always be connected to the red. And immediately, what did I think? The blood of Jesus. Be connected, stay connected to the true vine. Make sure you stay connected at all times. They say, because that's going to guarantee that you not, fall from the treetops or whatever. As long as you're connected to the red, you're going to be all right. So if you know anything else, stay connected to the red. Okay? And with the basic training, a lot of times in life, we try to skip our basic training. We try to skip the learning process and just jump right into whatever we are trying to do. And that can be detrimental. After they did our training or whatever, they said now you're responsible for yourself and any minor that you have with you. You understand the risk that comes with this. And if you do anything other than what you're taught, you are at risk of being fatally injured or critically injured if you don't follow these directions that we told you. If you don't stay connected to the red, if you don't connect the way you're supposed to connect on these zip lines and these jumps, you may hurt yourself and you may not recover. And they said if you're not okay with these terms, you are more than welcome to head back up to the office and get a full refund. They said that about 3 times, and I'm looking at my cousin like, we really got to do this. We really got to do this. So lesson number 2, don't bypass basic training in life. Things that you need to know to be successful in the goal that you're trying to attain. The process is necessary, whether you feel like it is or not, okay? The third lesson I learned was to have accountability in a network and support. Because I tell you, I have had a lot of ambitious goals and things in the past, and I talked myself out of them. You know, when it's time for the rubber to meet the road, if I get too fearful or feel like I am not prepared enough for it or whatever the case may be, I will talk myself out of it. If there's nobody there to hold me accountable, which there has been a lot of times in my life where there has not been, I didn't have any accountability, I would back on right up out of it, moonwalk like it ain't nothing, so that's one of the things, another lesson I learned through this, because I really was like, we got to that first zip line, I was just like, I don't want to do this no more. We can turn around now. We ain't too far ahead. We hadn't gotten too far in the course. We can go ahead and backtrack. Go ahead and, hey, let's go. We ain't got to get a refund. But it's good to have accountability. Someone there that is excited about the thing that you're excited about, that wants to see you succeed. They want you to do the thing that you set out to do. They're your cheerleader. You want to have those people there. And even a network of people that are going towards the same goal as you. Like those two young ladies that were cheerleading me on. They didn't know me from a can of paint, but they was cheering me on. They helped me so much, y'all, because I was tripping. So that's lesson number 3. Lesson number 4. You definitely gotta pay attention.
Right.
And be sober-minded.
Of course.
So to be vigilant.
Right.
As you saw on the video, I meant that, because first you're like, okay, I got this. But if you look at the thing that I was actually walking on, it flips. It was this weird, it looked like, how DNA mitochondria, let me not try to use scientific terms, but how DNA looks or whatever, a little spiral thing. So initially I'm thinking, okay, I got this. This ain't too bad. But if I really thought that I really had it and didn't really pay attention, I probably would have hurt myself. I probably wouldn't have hanging connected to the red. Or, the line. Because I wasn't connected to the red at that time, because I was connected to the zip line going across. So I would have been hanging from that. And don't even know if I would have been able to get up, because my upper body strength ain't the best right now. So be sober-minded. Pay attention and be vigilant. Whenever you go to new levels, there has to be a new sense of awareness. You can't do the things that you used to do. You can't move the way that you used to. Like, whenever we were on the ground level, when we were doing the basic training and stuff, it wasn't no need to be connected. It wasn't too much to look out for. You didn't have to really pay attention, and there wasn't a big threat of injury, right? But when the higher you go up, you go some feet off the ground, you need to pay attention, or you're going to end up with some broken limbs. You need to pay attention. So that's the 4th lesson that I learned. Whenever you go into different heights, different levels in life, it requires a different level of awareness. You have to look out for certain things. You have to be more careful, because a fall at the bottom is not the same as a fall at the top. And I wasn't trying to see what that was like. Look, I hadn't had any broken bones ever in life, and I wasn't trying to get any at the age of 33. What I look like. And the second time I went ziplining. The first time we only did phases 1 through 4, I believe. Because I said I knew I probably was going to come back. And I was tired. I was ready to go. And I know my other cousin was getting tired of waiting on us. So I was like, we can go ahead and cut it short. We can skip some parts and just, finish the end. The second time around, I did the whole course. And it was just one part of the course where I actually I think I was even more scared at that point than I was at the initial zip line on the first go around. It's like I almost hyperventilated because the obstacle, this is the treetop part. It was that, man, it was that challenging because I was like, look, if I fall, I ain't gonna have no strength to get back up. They're gonna have to do something. I don't know who gonna get me, who gonna, you know. My friend was scared too, trying to act like they wasn't. I'm like, started breathing heavy and everything. I was scared. For real. So that was my ziplining experience and the things that I gathered about myself and about life that can be applicable to any circumstance, pretty much. I conquered some fears and it was so freeing. Once I did it, you know, there's a quote that said, the quickest way to gain or build your confidence is to do something you're afraid of doing. So I encourage and admonish you to do something that you're afraid to do, that isn't going to be detrimental to your health, something that's not crazy. We ain't talking about doing crazy stuff, but something that is actually worth doing, that's going to be some kind of benefit to you. But I encourage you to find at least one thing and do it and see it gonna change your life. Alright, so that concludes this episode of Glasses and Grays with VJ. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, bye-bye.